This is a quick demo of using my starter pack website to set up a static site on AWS S3. If you want to get the starter pack and the full walkthrough instructions, check the link in the description below, and that's available to you. Let's get started. First, we extract the compressed zip file into its own folder. So we'll have our website files ready. You can get this as part of my website starter pack linked in the description below. So now let's start creating the bucket to host our website. So we'll head over to AWS and the S3 service and create our bucket. It just needs to match the domain that we're going to use for uh, this website. So we have website diy.com, and that matches our domain. We want to allow public access because this is going to host a website. You have to acknowledge that everything is going to be exposed to the public. We'll scroll down and everything else should just be the defaults. So we'll go ahead and create the bucket. And it's out there now. We've just got a couple little items to adjust. We'll go into the Properties tab, and we're going to go all the way down to Static Website Hosting, edit that, and enable static website hosting. And we want to use index.html as the default document, and error.html as the default error document. Save our changes. Go back to our details page. Oops. And now we need to set our permissions. We're going to add a policy. We want to add a statement. We'll call this AWS S3 website. And we'll find S3 over here. And we'll give it all permissions. And for our principal, we want to modify it. The AWS all. And for our resource, we want to add our resource S3 bucket. And we change our bucket name to our domain, or the name of the bucket that we created. Add it. Save our changes. Policy's been added. So now we go back and we just want to check and make sure it's working. We will upload our files. Upload, select the files we want to add as our website. We'll take out a couple of these that we don't need. Okay, we're good. We can drag them and drop them. Right now they're staged. You want to hit the upload button to push them up to the bucket. So now if we go back, we should be able to get to the URL for the website. Let's check and see. Right now it's forbidden because I've made one slight error on the policy. So let's fix that real quick. We have to tell it that all the content in the directory is allowed. So that just says anything under the root is available. We'll save our changes. We'll refresh our screen and the website's up and running. Next, we're going to go through the process of attaching our domain at easywebsitediy.com to this bucket behind a certificate so you don't get this not secure error when you launch the website. So that's up next. So we'll go over to Certificate Manager. Request a new certificate. It's a public certificate. Our domain name is easywebsitediy.com. We're going to validate it with DNS. We'll keep the defaults. Hit request. And now it's going to produce some verification records for DNS that we'll need to load. And we'll just tell it to create those records in Route 53 because I have this domain set up there. And it's pending. Once I hit create, this will just take a minute to validate. We'll refresh. Right now it's just trying to check and see that I do control that domain. Successful, certificate is issued. So now we can move on to setting up the CloudFront distribution to route traffic to this site. So we'll head over to CloudFront, create our distribution. We're just going to call this Easy Website DIY.com. So this is going to be a single website, and we should be good with the defaults. Now we're on to Origin. It's an Amazon S3. Let's browse S3 for Easy Website DIY. Choose that. Everything there should be good. We'll keep the recommended settings. Next. We don't need a web application firewall. So we'll choose do not enable security protections. Next. Everything should be the defaults here. We've got a couple things that we'll configure after we get this created. So we'll hit create distribution. It goes to deploying, which usually takes a few minutes to complete. So wait for this to be finished. So now the distribution has been deployed. We're going to add our domain here. And we'll set up the certificate that we created. Whoops. Let's go next. Actually, yep, that certificate's assigned. We'll go next. We're good. We'll add that domain. Um, so that's happy. Let's make sure our origins are set up. That's the S3 bucket. We want to make sure that our behavior is doing what we want it to. Basically, we want it to redirect any HTTP calls to HTTPS. We want to change our caching to disabled. That means that anytime you upload new files to the S3 bucket, they'll automatically be served instead of caching for a few hours before updates can be seen. We'll save those changes. Our error pages we have set. We want to now tell this distribution to serve the index HTML page by default. But first, we want to make sure we're serving the S3 website instead of just the bucket. So we're going to edit this origin. We tell it to use the website endpoint. And everything else should be the default. So we'll save changes there. And now we want to tell it to point to index HTML. So to do that, under settings, we go to edit. We scroll down to the default root object and tell it that it's index.html. Save those changes. And now we want to point the DNS records to this distribution. So we'll head over to our hosted zones. We'll go to Easy Website DIY. I had this previously set up for a different server. So let me edit this record. It's an A record. It's going to be an alias now. It's going to be a CloudFront distribution and Easy Website DIY. And it may take a minute for that to populate because my time to live was 60 seconds previously, but we'll give it a try over at our web browser. And it's serving, and we have our certificate, and all of our pages are under that certificate, and the website's up and running. If you have a change that you want to make to the website, it's as simple as heading over to the S3 bucket and uploading a new file here, and it'll immediately show up once you refresh the page. That's it. Hope you found this helpful. If you want the starter pack and the complete instructions on getting this set up, check out the link in the description below, and that will be available to you. See you in the next one.